Hi there, welcome to TDCatTech. Today I'm looking at this. This is the UGREEN 100W power delivery desktop USB-C charger. It's a 4-port charger and there's not too much to say about it really because it is just a charger. But it's really nice. It's because it's just so handy. Whenever I do a review, I try my best to use the products as much as I can in a real life scenario. And with this, I've definitely had the opportunity to do that because I've been away from home twice and I have taken this as my sole charger on those trips. I've kind of said, right, I'm just going to risk it. Don't know whether it's all going to work okay. And it's been taken away and it's my sole charger for my phone, for my cameras, for my watch, for my laptop, for everything. All done with the one device. So let's just see what you get in the box. Pretty simple actually. You get a nice C7 mains cable, and this one is a decent length. I'm so pleased they've given a decent length cable. It's probably nearly 2 meters long, this. And you get the charger itself, which is this little device, a little box. Not too big. It looks just like a kind of replacement for something you might just shove in the wall that you get with your laptop or something like that. Except there are no kind of adapters that plug into this. It is a C7 connector that goes straight into the back of this like that and then plugs in to the wall on the other side. On the front we have just 4 ports and 2 of those can supply 100 watts at 20 volts. Not at the same time. The whole charger will only do 100 watts overall, whatever kind of combination you're using. So if you have a laptop that you want to supply 100 watts of power to, then you might just sort of connect just one device, just the laptop at once, and this will be able to pump at 20 volts, 100 watts. So if you're looking to charge a MacBook or something like that from this device, no problem, you can do it. And if you're happy to sort of sacrifice a little bit of power, you can then plug your phone in at the same time. And then so you have 3 USB-C sockets on the front. 2 of those will supply the 100 watts. 1 is limited to 5 volts at 3 amp, 9 volts at 2.2 amps, 12 volts at 1.67 amps. So the third USB-C port on the front here is a little bit more limited in power. And then USB-A, they give you one of those as well. And that is 5 volt, 9 volt and 12 volt as well. So a sort of 18 watt fast charge port. One of the bad points that I forgot to mention while recording the rest of the video was that this doesn't have any indicator on to show you that it's actually powered up. This is on the mains right now, and there's nothing. There's no light. There's nothing to say this is on. So obviously it starts charging things, so you know it's on, and a lot of chargers that you plug in the wall don't have lights on either, do they? But I don't know. I just expected this to have something on it to tell me that it's actually powered up and working, but it doesn't. So I've got my MacBook here, and what I'm going to do is, although my MacBook's not particularly flat at the moment, I'm going to plug this into here, and I'm going to plug it into my laptop. So this is the currently being drawn, and you've got the power there, and the current and the voltage. So the laptop is currently taking 20 volts from this connector on the charger. And it's not really drawing much at all, just 3.5 watts at the moment, so about 0.2 amps of current. But let's just make the MacBook actually do something. So what I'm going to do is just go to a video here. Well, what happens if I actually just play a video? Will that make it do a bit more? There we go. So even just playing a video there, you can see has bumped that up. So I'm now rendering something, and the second I started rendering there, you can see that this has bumped up now to 1.5 amps at 20 watts. So we're now taking 30 watts, 31 watts off this charger. You can just see in the bottom right-hand corner there that we're taking 31 watts at 1.5 amps. Since those initial tests there, I've spent the last 24 hours trying to drop the charge on my phone and my MacBook here, to get them to a reasonable level so that I can firstly double check that this will actually take a fast charge from this Ugreen charger. So what we'd expect to see on this voltmeter here, on the USB sort of monitoring device, is 9 volts, because when it kicks into fast charge, the initial voltage for that charge, I think, should be 9 volts. We'll check that in a second, but this is still only down to 34%, so we're not that low really. And on the MacBook, I've got this down to about 15%, so I would expect to see a good amount of power pulled from the charger here. If we start charging and we start doing something on the laptop, we might be able to get this up to kind of 60-70 watts, hopefully. So let's give that a go now. I'll try the phone first. So I'm just plugging that into the first USB port there, and let's get this charging and see what it does. Okay, so on that, there we go. So you saw the change there, hopefully. It's now kicked into fast charge mode. It started off at 5 volts, but it's now bumped up to 9.1 volts. I'll just get in a bit closer on that. That's exactly what we would expect to see on the iPhone, which supports power delivery and supports fast charging. So good result there. Now let's try the same with the MacBook. So let's get this plugged into here again. So the laptop screen isn't even on at the moment, but the charger's kicked in at 20 volts, so 19.86 volts, 2.5 amps, drawing 51 watts of power. During my reviews, I like to look at pros and cons of any device, and I've got quite a few pros to go through with this, and really not many bad points at all. So I'll just quickly run through the good points. It's really convenient and easy. Just being able to take one device like this, chuck this in your bag, nothing else, and know that all your device charging is covered is great. I mean, it's just much simpler than having like a single kind of plug in the wall phone socket, phone charger that you're going to leave. Because how many times have you left a charger in a hotel room, or, you know, left a charger at your friend's house or parents' house or something like that? I know I have many times. Something like this, you don't tend to do that. You take this device, it's connected with a mains cable. You know you've got that one device. That's all you've got to remember. It's fairly compact for what it does, considering this is your laptop charger as well and everything. I think this is fairly small. You know, it's not overkill. I like it. And yeah, I've mentioned before, the C7 mains in is great. No trailing adapters, no additional kind of big adapters to plug in the wall, just a standard plug. And all the main side is dealt with on the device itself. Nicely made. Overall, it's nicely made. I will come on to that again in the bad points too. But it's got a really solid feel to it. Nice chunk of plastic. There's no kind of, yeah, it just feels solid. So, I mean, I think that's always going to give me a good impression of a product when it doesn't sort of not creaking around in your hands. It runs pretty cool. I was actually thinking that this wasn't doing the job it was supposed to be doing, because it runs so cool. Normally, when it's charging any of your phones or anything like that, it will barely get warm at all. The only time I have actually managed to get this reasonably warm, starting to get maybe towards hot, is when my MacBook had completely run out of power, was 5% or something, and then I put it on charge on this. So at that point, no doubt, it's pulling a pretty hefty amount of current during that part of the charge cycle. And yeah, this did get fairly warm at that point, but nothing to worry about. It's got broad compatibility, as I said. Power delivery is fine for Apple, has been for ages, Google, and most Android devices. So compatibility-wise on the fast charging, yeah, you're going to get the benefit across many more devices because it is power delivery. As far as the bad points go, I maybe wouldn't mind having an additional USB-A port on the front. With the cables that I took away with me, I made a mistake a couple of times and ended up being short because I didn't have another USB-A port. So the cables I had my watch cable, which was a USB, it needed a USB-A, and I think then my partner had her phone, which was on a USB-A. And it would be nice maybe if this was a 5-port charger with 3 Cs and 2 As, maybe, but it's not. So I can't really sort of mark it down for not having something in a way, but it would be nice if it had that, right? That's the only thing I can say. The finish on the plastic around some of these parts here, it looks a bit sort of weird. It's kind of got these sort of weird, almost like a slightly mottled effect on the plastic. It just makes it look a little bit cheap. But I mean, still solid, but just looks, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get a good shot of this on the camera. No doubt you can't see it from here, but yeah, it's maybe not perfect on the finish. And the final point, really, nothing more to add, is the fact that the feet, these little rubber feet that are supplied on it, they're not proud of the surface at all. I know you can just about see that on there. They don't poke up from the surface. So while it will keep it sort of stuck to a desk or to a you know, particularly like on my glass desk here, it's literally scraping the bottom of the charger. And already on the charger, even just after 2 weeks of use, I've got tons of scuffs on the bottom of the charger because the feet just aren't lifting it off the surface at all. I would have thought that would be better, 1, for ventilation, and 2, to avoid the bottom getting scuffed. But you could possibly poke them off and replace them yourself with something better. No big deal, really. And that's about it. That's all I could think of as far as bad points are concerned. It does what it's supposed to do. It's really, really handy. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit expensive, maybe, considering you can buy a legit Apple MacBook charger for something like £69. I think the retail price of this at time of recording is £99. So I think that is a little bit steep for a charger. It's super convenient. It does a lot, and it is really handy. It just feels a bit too much as far as I'm concerned. I think that the 69 mark would be better for this. And maybe after I've recorded this video, it's probably already gone down to 69 or it's on sale for 69 or something like that. That's what usually happens when I make these videos. So maybe they've changed the price, but I'm pretty sure I saw this and it was retailing at £99, which to me feels just a little bit expensive. Apart from that, it's a great device. The Ugreen Power Delivery 100 watt 4-port USB-C charger. I hope you found that video useful. I'll put links down in the description as usual. If you'd like to support the channel, please do click on those links for whatever you want to buy on Amazon, if you're still using them, if they actually go ahead with their removal of Visa, if that actually ever goes ahead. Not convinced it will at the moment. Anyway, how to date a video. But if you're still shopping on Amazon, please do click on the links below to support the channel. And also, if you like the videos, hit the subscribe button or all the usual stuff. And if you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. And any questions you've got, put them in the comments. And if I know the answer, I will try and respond within about 24 hours. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.